What motivates people to wake up at 5 a.m. every single day? I don't do it every day, but as my work hours rotate, some of my shifts fall onto the AM hours for beginning work to get it out of the way for the day. I'm in no way gym bro, but I need to get my fitness back in check to avoid having to buy larger clothes again. So 5 a.m. is a good time before work for the day. If I were working a Monday to Friday job, I would still do the same. Yeah, sure, sleep is great and all, but there's just so much more you can do once out of bed. Getting to sleep at night is a whole lot easier to after beginning my day at an early hour. It's quiet, like ... the whole world is just ... quiet. If I sleep in, I get woken up by screaming toddlers. I have to go from 0 to 60 in about half a second. I get up before the chaos and screaming. I can make coffee, read the news, check up on emails, plan out my day, pack up for work, lay out clothes, and generally handle everything I need to do without chaos and screaming. I absolutely love getting up at 5. Some days, I'll even get up at 4 and get a workout in before the chaos and screaming. I wake up a tad earlier for 30 a.m. I like getting gym out of the way without having to deal with afternoon and evening crowds. Runs also feel amazing at 5 a.m. or 6 a.m. Above all though, my brain barely functions after 7 p.m. Even during college when I slept at 11 p.m. and woke up at 7 a.m. For me to just sleep around 8:30 p.m. so I am well rested for my most mentally productive hours between 6 a.m. and 9 a.m. I am lucky enough to have a good office job that lets me start as early as 6 a.m. SAPHI refers to that period of time in the morning when no one else is awake but you. Source NPR. Lost in translation for perfect words that have no English equivalent. I adore this time of the day, the darkness, the quiet, the peace, the sunrise. Just me and my coffee and my thoughts and my scrivener. I'm a hobby writer, especially since becoming SAHM is a major part of what keeps me sane, and sometimes it's my only quiet alone time all day. I feel like my transitions are very important for establishing some kind of normalcy. I started getting up early so I could make coffee and start my day with some quiet before anyone else gets up, and I've stuck with it. I get out of bed, put on sweatpants and a shirt, make a cappuccino, do my MYT games or whatever, then decide what's next. No maids, no spouse, no anything, my time. Light sleeper, get my me time workout. Sure. Humanize myself before the rest of the world sucks up my time with chores and getting kiddo off to school before work. If I don't do it, then I am too tired at the end of the daily grind and my health suffers. I selfishly need that me time. It keeps me sane. Used to be able to run in the morning, and I loved working out in the morning. Makes me feel like the first win in the morning and sets me up for the day. And that's not including the endorphins I get from exercising. Also, it's very peaceful in the morning. These days it's the kids that wake me up. The military really doesn't like it when you don't show up for duty. In fact, they have a name for it. Absent without leave, AWL, and it's punishable by all kind of unsavory things I don't want to deal with. So I went to work. I also like my paychecks, so there was that. I wake up at 5 a.m. every day. My motivation is going to the gym to work out and feed the stray cats that hang out in the parking lot. I love working out. I love my gym friends. I love cats. I don't work out on the weekends, but I do go to the gym to feed the kitties. I'm a morning person. I wake up 5:55 without an alarm 10 out of 11 days. I bet I could do 5 a.m. without an alarm without much effort. I'm useless at night. My brain is mush. I could be asleep at 9 every day and be so happy. Some people are just morning people. I'm not a morning person at all. My body always tries to beat me up for getting up. Starting work at 6 a.m. saves me at least 15 minutes of traffic delays each way. Plus, getting off work earlier in the day and having more time in the sun feels good. I teach a class that starts at 6:45. It's the kids themselves that make this worth it. They are extraordinary. And we have some wild, intense, unhinged, completely satisfying conversations. I'm not a morning person, but damn if they don't make me want to be. I have this thing where I wake up 10 to 30 minutes before my alarm. It's strange. I'll set a 45-minute alarm for something in the oven, not look at a clock or timer, and 1 minute or less ask myself, I wonder how much time is left. Rarely fails. Life. It becomes a routine. It sounds absurd to a lot of people, but when you have been doing it for well over a decade, you are used to it. You still may bitch and grumble about it, and still may require caffeine, but you are used to the routine. For years and years it was for 45 a.m. each weekday because my gym opened at 5 a.m. and I lived like 10 minutes away. My then wife didn't want me to go to the gym after work. She told me to go in the morning before work. So that's what I did. I actually naturally wake up around 3:30 a.m. every night but force myself to stay in bed until 5:00 a.m. I do this even on the weekends. LOL, when you're awake. You're awake, so you may as well get out of bed and start your day. If I am up at S because my cat is screaming in my face and jumping on top of me. Otherwise, no, more like 6:37 a.m. as it's rare I get to sleep before 3 a.m. the previous night, not a morning person at all. Weekend backcountry skiing to hit the powder before the sun does. Or an alpine start to complete a climb in a day. Weekday, my dog usually has to pee and my team is on the East Coast, and I'm on the West Coast. I don't need any motivation to wake at 5 a.m. It is a good time to wake up. 6 a.m. is perfect. 7 a.m. is good too. 8 a.m. is starting to be a bit late. The problem is waking up at 5 a.m. if you go to bed past 10 p.m. Early morning feels different, somehow. Also, I love not feeling rushed in the morning. I can wake up, work out or go for a walk, enjoy my coffee breakfast, and then hop in the shower, etc. The absolute certainty that failure is not an option. It's fucking overwhelming, but it gets me out of bed. Stress-induced insomnia is what it was called the last time I got myself looked at. I like the early morning world. It hits different, and I usually have a lot of crap to do. Waking up earlier lets me feel like I still have some of the day left for me when it's all done. I get up at 4:30 most days. At first it sucked, but now I am fine with it. But I have health insurance, plenty of money, and a 20-year retirement, have 5 years left and will be done by 40. I get up at 4:30 most days. At first it sucked, but now I am fine with it. But I have health insurance, plenty of money, and a 20-year retirement, have 5 years left and will be done by 40. If you wake up early and don't have to do anything for a few hours, it's really nice and peaceful. But people who wake up at 5 a.m. and go on a 5-mile run and shit like that are crazy. I wake up at 5:40. My commute is 40 minutes with no traffic. I'd rather not be in traffic. I hit the gym before work. For me, waking up early and going to bed early is time efficient. Try for AM, and the answer is to work out. Twice a day, 6 days a week. Hardest workout is the first one of the day. Get it done while everyone else is snoozing. I try to rely on habit and not motivation. If I don't show up for myself at 5 a.m. to do my morning routine, I know I will not have time during the day. I could wake up later than I do, but that would mean I have to stay at work later. I'd much rather get an early start and then end my day early. Work time on my side gig before the kids get up and my full-time job starts. One day my side gig will replace my job and it'll be well worth it. I exercise at 5 a.m. because of the convenience no one else is awake and because I feel reality good the rest of the day and I exercise first. I get up at 5:30 so that I can spend 1 hour alone with my coffee. It is very relaxing and helps me start my morning so that I am not rushed. For me, by 6:30 a.m. there is already gridlock on the way to work. I go in early and get off early. beating the rush hour traffic both ways. Homelessness motivates me to wake up at 5 a.m. So does food. Hobbies. Clean clothes, decent looking clothes, or healthcare. Should I continue? Originally, 'cause I had an hour drive, 1.5 hours with traffic ahead of me. Get up at 5 to get on the road at 6 to be in the office by 8. I did it for 2 years, woke up at 5 to drive to the gym. Now that I'm older, all I can say is what the fuck, seriously, what the fuck? I like how peaceful and serene the world is at that time. One of my favorite things to do is to make some tea and watch the sunrise. I get up at 4 to go to work. I get motivated by it since I know by noon my work day is over. Have a free afternoon every day, avoiding the broccoli-haired teenagers at the gym. I don't find them annoying at all, they just take up the weights for every year. Please, if you have ever heard Mr. Krabs from SpongeBob say money, replay it in your head right now. And I get up at 4, making my husband breakfast and his lunch for the day and his coffee. I get to go back to bed when he leaves. If I don't, then I will have to pick up dog poop in my living room as opposed to our backyard. God, I love pets. I like waking up before it's bright outside. It gives me time to wake up and not wake up with brightest light. Got to wake up early to go for my dialysis treatment. And to take my morning medicine. There's a lot. I have to be at work for 06, and it's a 20-minute drive to work. So I have to be out my door by 5:30. LOL. As I get older, it's becoming my natural sleep cycle, and it's pretty much impossible to deviate from it. Job. If you work outdoors where it's really hot, you want to get done before the hottest time of day.